What up guys, Cody from Graybox Nashville here, popping in today with a quick tip for editing electric guitars. So let's check this out. So here we've got our recorded rhythm guitar tracks, really standard, just doubles of one another, hard panned left and right, really straightforward. Let's give it a listen. Okay, not bad. Real standard, just rock guitars. A little bit messy, maybe a little too messy. These could probably use a little bit of tightening up. Our only issue is that's really hard to do in this current form with this giant brick of distorted audio right here. I mean, check this out. How is anyone supposed to pick out exactly where the pick strokes are, where the downbeats are? Kind of one of the hallmark difficulties of editing distorted guitars like this. You don't know where you're editing for sure. So what do? I mean, are we stuck with this? We have to figure this out, or is there an easier way to edit distorted guitars like this? Well, there is. I'm glad you asked. And it actually happens at the tracking stage. So my signal chain for recording this is pretty simple and straightforward. So I've got my guitar, Paul Reed Smith Custom 24 with a 1/4" instrument cable, show that, running from the guitar to my tuner right here in this input. From the tuner, I've got another 1/4" instrument cable running straight out to the amp. The amp is actually in our bomb shelter amp recording closet right next to me right here. It's mic'd up with an SM57, which is going into an API 512C on our desk right here. And from there, straight into our interface and into Pro Tools. So that's how I'm getting my distorted guitar tone right here. But for our editing trick, I'm actually gonna wanna capture another version of this guitar simultaneously. Just a simple, dry DI track straight out of the guitar. Capturing this is gonna allow us to see very cleanly the really distinct hits and strums on the guitar itself without being muddied up by all that brick distortion waveform craziness. So to capture that, I'm gonna take this radial DI, honestly any DI works. I'm gonna put it first in my signal chain right before the tuner. I'm gonna go into the input of the radial DI. So from here, the XLR out of the DI is gonna go straight to its own separate preamp and its own channel in Pro Tools where it's gonna individually capture the DI clean track of this guitar. From here, we're gonna actually take a patch cable into the through of our DI box with a little patch cable into the input. This is gonna allow the signal from our guitar to run through the DI box, out the patch cable, into the tuner, and therefore into the amp and capture our distorted electric guitar sound. All right, now in our DAW, we're gonna set up 2 brand new tracks to capture this DI signal coming in. Let's name this one RGL.DI. Bring this one down here, name it RGR.DI. What I'm gonna do now is group these tracks together, the amp track and the corresponding DI track. So they're recording together, they're being edited together, moving simultaneously. Let's take our RG left and our RG left DI. Let's group that, call it RG left. And see now, these two move together. When we solo it, the DI track solos and the amp track solos, inputs, arming the track, working together. Let's do the same thing for the right side. So right, we're gonna group it. Let's call it RGR. And now these 2 tracks group together as well. Our input for our DI is our 511. And then we're gonna do the same thing down here. All right, now that we've got these DI tracks set up to where they're capturing a nice clean signal, let's retrack our rhythm guitars, see how much easier it is to edit from this point. Get rid of these first takes, retrack from the start. All right, now let's get our double. check it out. See, my distorted track is that same big block of distortion that's really hard to see what's going on. But down here in the corresponding DI track for that take, I can see exactly where each of those downstrokes are, where they line up with our grid. Notice that some of these are a little bit behind, some of them are a little bit ahead, some of them are just off in general, but regardless, way easier for me to see exactly what's going on, where I need to make my cuts, where I can nudge things around to fix some of these issues. All right, there it is. There's a quick little hack for recording electric guitars. Throw that DI track right at the beginning of your signal chain, capture a dry signal. Gonna make your life way easier when editing. So hope this was helpful. Stay tuned for more quick little tips like this. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.